time to stand toe-to-toe with your favorite foe, as we bash bosses and break beaks, becoming the bruiser greatsword's meant to be. Let's get into greatsword's most important changes that allow you to take on a monster's punishment and dish it back even harder than before. Focus Strikes are Monster Hunter's newest gimmick, and they're a combination of World's Tenderizing and Rise's Afflicted Bubbles. As you rip through enemies, you'll tear open body parts that can be targeted with Focus Strikes, or you can leave them open to deal bonus damage to that part. After sufficient damage has been dealt, the part will break, and you'll be rewarded monster parts. One thing they don't tell you at Wild's Bootcamp is that you can Focus Slash with a draw attack. Sometimes you're far away and healing, but you're missing out on an opportunity and really want to take advantage of an opening. Maybe this is right after Arkfeld does his super and you ran off to the side. Well, if you approach with L2, R1, triangle and circle, you'll open up with a Focus Perforation. This is crucial for dishing out the punishment when Dragonite's Hyper Beam needs a turn to recover. Next up, we have Rising Offset Slash. So basically the way that offsets work is you have a certain threshold you have to surpass before you'll send a monster reeling. You may notice this happens on like the first attack of a fight, or maybe it takes a little bit longer the further you go into an encounter. Needless to say, once it happens, you feel like a badass. The monster goes toppling over, and then you'll gap close, hook, line, and sinker for a follow-up attack, or if you'd like, you can cancel out of it. Not only that, but you could actually delay your follow-up attack in case you needed to space or time a little bit better. While most of the time you're probably just going to mash triangle and do a follow-up attack anyways, there may be advantages to rolling backwards and preparing for a Rising Offset Slash, or maybe you need to heal or set up a trap. Here, you can see we send Arkfeld reeling, and even though we go for the gap closer, the rocks stop us, and we're actually not able to capitalize on this advantage. I could have used this opportunity to roll and then approach with another attack to deal significantly more damage. In addition to being able to counterattack with Offset Rising Slash, you're also able to turn this with Focus Mode. So for monsters being really squirrely and jumping all over the place, you're actually able to turn this Offset Slash around so that you never find yourself in a bad position. You're probably asking, if I Offset Slash, will I negate all the damage? Well, yes and no. If there's multiple attacks coming at you, you're probably going to take some chip damage from one of the other hits, or maybe even get knocked back being hit entirely. Over the course of a fight, it's actually really easy to take a whole bunch of chip damage in cart. For example, if you're not careful, you're going to get bumped on the noggin while you're charging your Offset Rising Slash, and you'll probably take some chip damage that way. Now, if you turn properly, it's possible to not take any damage, but I wouldn't bank on it every single time. It's something you'll get better at as you go along. You'll also notice that it's more likely to actually activate the offset the higher your charge level, but sometimes that's just not feasible. You might have to release it after charging only once or twice, and that's okay. How much you charge it's going to vary based on the encounter, the attacks being used, and you'll just get better as you play. I haven't been able to offset a roar, I'm pretty sure you can't, but you can Perfect Guard it, which leads us into our next section. When it comes to Greatsword, Perfect Guard's got a lot going on. There's going to be a secret tech that we'll show you at the end of this explanation, but for now, let's go over the basics. So normally in Monster Hunter, if you guard, you're going to lose a whole ton of sharpness, and you're going to lose a lot of stamina. If a cascading hit is hitting you multiple times like Arkfeld's triple hit, it's very possible that you'll just outright lose all your stamina and die. So to avoid this, we're going to Perfect Guard. Basically, the way it works is if you guard properly within a certain frames of the enemy's attack, you're going to activate a Perfect Guard. It's going to be really meaty and impactful. It's going to feel awesome. And from there, you'll be able to do a couple of follow-ups. Most of the time, you're going to follow it up with a charged triangle. However, you can do a wide slash, or you could roll out of the way. But what if I told you they had a hidden move that not only do they not tell you about, it doesn't even show up in the move list? Let's combine two elements that we've now learned about: Focus Mode and Perfect Guard. You know what? Why don't I just show you? So as Arkfeld comes in, we hit a Perfect Guard, and as you can see, we do this kind of little janky lift up with our sword that we go to charge down. Now normally what we do is we actually pick our sword up out of the ground before we do a charge slash. What we're activating here is an overhead slash, an incredibly fast attack, possibly our fastest out of a Perfect Guard, and you can charge it if you have the advantage in the opening to do so. But if you just need a quick hit, you can use this. Now, you might not always be able to hit because the monster might jump away, but it's going to allow you to roll out of the way faster and reposition for the next moment of the battle. So even if you're not going to land a hit, it's still a very valuable asset to have in your toolkit because you'll never know when you need it. Another thing to mention is even though you have to turn your camera away to slash, which might make you miss a very thin body part, because you can charge it, you can just focus attack and turn it right back where it came from. While you're learning, you might just activate the slash instead of forgetting to charge, and that's not bad. Honestly, the best part is that you're able to activate it reliably. And this brings us to Magnetism. Master Magnetism, and your TCS will never miss its mark. So what is it? Basically, Magnetism is a new feature of Focus Mode that draws you to your opponent. If you're using Focus Mode and you attack a monster, you're going to be drawn towards it. But wait, Isn't that just how focus works? Well, there's a lot of misinformation out there claiming that that's just a focus attack, so check this out. Here, we'll attack just the ground. You're going to notice that we don't really move forward, despite having focus mode held down. What if we attack a large barrel bomb? Surely that'll work. It does damage to us. Well, I tried that. And the barrel bomb doesn't count as an enemy either. What about our sacred? It gets in the way all the time. Will this magnetize us? Regrettably, the sacred doesn't make us move forward either. Although, I'm kind of glad this isn't the case, because if it was, I'm sure we'd see some really janky gameplay trying to exploit this. So what does this mean? Well, in short, it means that if you're really far away from the monster, you'll be able to close the gap a lot easier, provided you're close enough to activate the function of magnetism. One thing I noticed is that if I was too close to the part I was trying to hit, my focus mode attacks would function as normal. I wouldn't be magnetized to it because I'm already there. There's nothing to magnetize to. However, if I targeted a part to the side, you'll find that I was now magnetized to that new piece. Get this new move down, you'll be flowing around the monster like nobody's business. So Wilds is here. All of this footage was taken from the beta before the full release of the game. Hopefully these features make it to the full release and this video is helpful for you. It can be a lot to take in, so really, if you're learning greatsword, just go at it at your own pace. Unga and bunga and maybe take a monster down or two. There's no real wrong way to play Monster Hunter, as long as you're having fun. Remember, if your hunts take 15 minutes, that's okay. If they take 5 minutes, that's okay too. Shoot, might even take you half an hour, and that's alright. Just go at your own pace. You'll get better as time goes on. And as always, happy hunting.